My mom is a gayler, by the way. My mom believes that Taylor Swift is gay.
A lot of people think this. As far as Taylor Swift has ever stated from her mouth, she is not. So that's what I'm going to go with for now, unless she ever states differently, and then I will listen to her.
Sabrina Carpenter has pissed a lot of people off again by posting provocative stuff that's very sexual. People on the internet are being totally rational and normal and chill about it. And I'm joined by my friend Ellie Schnitt to discuss it. Ellie, how are you?
You know, Cam, I'm good.
We're going to throw the album cover up on the screen right now so you all can see. Sabrina Carpenter is being provocative and sexual and stuff like that. Something she's done plenty of times before. I don't know if she's pissed anybody off this much since the thing in the church, which obviously pissed off kind of all the right people. But people are really upset about this. Ellie, I'm going to throw this tweet up on the screen. You tweeted, I think some of you just get really excited to have a valid woke reason to criticize women. You saw Sabrina's album art and salivated because you knew you could live out your fave is problematic fantasy. Just let her be short and horny for God's sake. And by the way, allow me to outwoke you for a moment. Sabrina could be covered head to toe, sitting on a church pew, praying, and men would sexualize it, acting like there's a way to avoid the male gaze, tiptoes toward victim blaming and perpetuating R-word culture.
Yeah.
You like the album cover?
You know, okay, look, I am not like crazy about the album cover. I don't think it's like the greatest album cover I've ever seen, but I'm genuinely shocked that people are this angry because it honestly, based on what people are reacting, like you would think she was, I mean, not doing what she is doing. It's a barely provocative photo, if I'm being honest. Like I feel like pop stars in the 90s and early 2000s were doing things that were a lot more provocative than this. It's really shocking to me because as much as I didn't really love the album cover, I definitely didn't hate it as much as people seem to hate it. And now I'm negatively polarized. I'm like, well, now I'm the album's cover's biggest fan because people are being so annoying.
Yeah, this is one where I think Sabrina has even pissed off a lot of the people who would defend a lot of the other sort of provocative, rage baity type stuff. I personally am of the who gives a shit opinion. I think that this is marketing more than it is a creative choice. I think that this is how Sabrina does business. I think that the product that she puts out to people is this aesthetic and this vibe and this sexually positive narrative that some people really buy into. But I definitely think that she should just be allowed to do what she wants. I can't say I think it's the most creative choice to have made, and I don't really understand what the creative narrative of this is. But it's also like everyone who's freaking out about it is doing exactly what she wants them to do. Like she puts this shit out there so people freak out about it because she pisses off all the right people. You know, when people were cooking her about doing something in a church, all of the most repressive type of Christian people who like to get offended about everything were freaking out on her. And she looked like the man because she rattled the right cages. And for this, I think a lot of the misogyny stands out there were definitely ready to give her shit for it, but also a lot of the feminists out there were ready to give her shit for it. And it was a very
No, yeah,
complex
I do honestly want
issue.
to say I don't believe that she thought that it would be as big of a deal as it is. I think that I really don't think that she would think that. I mean, I'm sure she thought people would be like, "Oh, Sabrina," but like I truly do not think that she expected people to explode the way that they've exploded because it's a pretty milk toast cover as things go.
I think that the marketing professionals that Sabrina works with were well aware that this would be a big conversation starter and get people pissed off. It's like when I post something that I know I'm going to get cooked for, I'm kind of excited when I'm getting cooked because more comments drives the post up in the algorithm and is good for the post. So if people want to come
Right.
and roast me, it's like, okay, help me out. Right. And I think that Sabrina's team is aware that she provokes this response from people. And, this one definitely, to your point, went a lot farther than previous Sabrina antics.
I do though. I think that Sabrina, I think it's very obvious to me, and I think to a lot of people that like the idea that she was going for was basically, okay, yeah, people, men treat women poorly. The album is titled Man's Best Friend. What's that? There's a dog, so she's implying bitch. Like she's like I get it. I don't know if she was so successful in executing it, but I get what she was going for.
Well, let's see what our friend here on screen has to say about it.
Sabrina is crossing the line between sexual freedom and objectification whilst referencing the most disgusting book I've ever read. To someone who's never heard of Lolita, never read the book, never seen the movie, this might look like a regular photo shoot. By the way, I do not recommend watching the movie or reading the book if you're sensitive to child assault. This is a book about a man in his late 30s/early 40s, and his name is Humbert, and he falls in love. The problem is, the object of his love is a 12-year-old girl. In this book, Humbert explains manipulation methods.
Did you know about Lolita?
In order to get the
Let me ask you that. First of all, I've read Lolita. I've seen this movie. What confuses me is, do people think Lolita is like pro-pedophile? Like,
well, you'll see the point that she's making.
Sure.
Sexually and psychologically. While Humbert is blaming her for everything that happens because he believes that some little girls are born as nymphs. He claims to have noticed nymph-like behavior in very young girls. See, that's why it's so upsetting to see mainstream artists reference Lolita when you know the full story. As Nabokov said, this was never supposed to be a romance book. It was created to evoke that strange feeling inside you because you could never understand how Humbert can think so many disgusting things about a little kid. Seeing this photo shoot and then seeing the cover to her newest album, where she's on her knees being manhandled and grabbed by the hair, I'm a woman and I am very disappointed.
I honestly like understand, like it would not, it doesn't surprise me that people would be disappointed or find this degrading in some sense. What is confusing to me is where people are seeing Lolita in that other photo. Charlie XCX did a photo shoot that was nearly identical. No one was saying it was Lolita themed. You know why? Because she's like 5'8" or something. Like, I don't know that Sabrina can escape that. Like, she's just a small woman. Lots of people were commenting, like, it's creepy that during her tours, like, it's creepy that she's wearing these, like, this lingerie and stuff. She's like so little, like, she looks like a kid, like, she's looking like blah, blah, blah. It's like, she's just a petite woman. She's 26 years old. Like, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know.
Well, that speaks to one of the things that people are talking about across the board with this, which is like, just because a young woman making art, she doesn't need to be for children. You know, people see what Sabrina does. People see other young female artists being sexual and stuff like that. And they're like, what does this say to little girls? It's like, they don't owe it to everybody to be fucking Coco Melon.
No, and I understand maybe there's a confusion with Sabrina because she started with Disney, but she hasn't been a Disney Channel actress since she was 14 or 15. I mean, I think that people were also complaining they'd go to her tours and be like, I'm a mother with 2 6-year-olds and we went to see Sabrina Carpenter and I'm shocked at how sexual it is. And I'm like, that surprises me. First of all, she's an adult woman and she's going to behave like an adult woman, but also like a lot of the lyrics in Short and Sweet specifically, not across her discography, but in Short and Sweet have those like innuendos. But even with Sabrina, like I always found her sexuality or the way that she expresses sexuality not to be, it's not like vulgar. It's not like, it's very like tongue in cheek. She's making puns about sex and she's joking about her sexuality. She doesn't take it that seriously. It's always been kind of.
It doesn't seem very sincere. It seems kind of like just a bit. Like Sabrina being horny has never come off to me as horniness. It's come off as like, oh, I'm doing this because, you know, this is going to get you talking about it. She did these things where she would do like improv lines at the end of her songs. She would make some sort of rhyme that was like, I'm so horny that I could blank, and then follow it up with some really weird delivery. And I never heard that and went, gee, this is a very sexual person. I heard that and went, oh, she knows that this is going to get TikToked about.
I was like, this is a funny person. But, you know, she did this interview. She did this Rolling Stone interview, which people were also critiquing the cover because she was naked on the cover of Rolling Stone, which that's a whole other thing that kind of got looped in with this whole thing because it got released around the same time. But she said in this article, this is a direct quote, it's always funny to me when people complain. They're like, all she does is sing about this, but those are the songs that you've made popular. clearly you love sex, you're obsessed with it, because it's true.
I was having a conversation with a young woman last night who's a songwriter, but she was talking about like Sabrina Carpenter and Taylor Swift and Olivia Rodrigo and these artists who make so much music about men and the way that men make them feel and everything. Yeah. And the young woman who I was talking to, the songwriter, was like, why is everybody centering men in everything? Why is this all about men? And for me, I'm like, well, that's what they want to write about. And maybe that's me oversimplifying it, but it's like, if there's an artist who is creatively compelled by the experience of writing about this specific type of thing, you know, be it heartbreak, the men in their lives, etc., like, let them write what they want to write and people listen to it. But you're such a Swiftie. Being a Swiftie is like one of the core tenets of your personality. I'm curious how you react when people are talking about how Taylor Swift makes everything about men.
It's sort of like, I don't know what you really want her to do about it. Like, she's a straight woman. I mean, you can ask, some people disagree with that sentence, but
my mom is a gaylor, by the way. Yeah, my mom believes that Taylor Swift is gay.
A lot of people think this. As far as Taylor Swift has ever stated from her mouth, she is not. So that's what I'm going to go with for now, unless she ever states differently, and then I will listen to her. She's a woman who dates men. And she likes to date men, and she likes to have sex with men, and she's going to write about that. And like, dating is dating and sex are so like entwined with our lives. Like, that is the human experience. Like, so much of the human experience is dating and sex. Why would you expect women to not write about that? And if you're a straight woman, you're going to be singing about dating men. So I don't really understand like the critique of that. Like, that is life. How many songs are written about sex, and how many songs are written about love? Like 90% of them. What do you write a song about if it's not sex or love? Trains? Like,
it's like in musical theater, they say that the character is supposed to sing when they are feeling something that is so intense that they can't figure out how to put it into words.
Yes.
And that's, you know, I feel about love with songs. It's like, yeah, love is the type of thing that we want these women to be writing songs about doing their fucking taxes. Like, yeah, it's going to center men. It's probably because men is what they were thinking about when they were writing, because they were pursuing something creative. Fuck's sake. And by the way, I don't even like Sabrina. Like, I feel like I'm going to bat for her, because I think she should be allowed to express her creativity however she wants. And I don't think people should diminish that. But I'm not even like a fan. I think the Me Espresso song is the worst shit I've ever heard in my entire life. I don't understand why she doesn't say My Espresso. Me espresso, you fucking Mr. Krabs.
Espresso, get it? That's that me espresso. That's that coffee, like, it's me. It's the me. It's like she's not saying it's my espresso. She's not saying it belongs to me. She's saying this is the espresso that is me. It's nonsense. It's Swedish pop nonsense, and that's what makes it amazing.
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, but slay queen. Like, I think she should be able to I think women should be making money.
I think Sabrina is obviously not above critique. I think that there are people who don't think the album cover landed, and they're allowed to think that. But I think that the critiques are going to, you're a whore and a slut, and you're setting women back. And it's like, if Sabrina Carpenter can set women back, how far have we really come?
I think that that's what this person's going to say too.
I love that.
A conservative weirdo. A lot of y'all aren't even religious, but you are regurgitating evangelical talking points, and it's crazy. Y'all are literally just repackaging calling women sluts and whores too, by saying, oh, they're male-centered. They're doing this for the male gaze. Like, yeah, women are allowed to be attracted to men. I think you've gone so far left that y'all have looped around to conservatism. Like, you guys are all for female empowerment and women embracing their sexuality until they do it in a way that you don't like it. You don't like when straight women do it because men are looking at them. News fucking flash. Men look at any woman. It doesn't matter what their sexuality is. Men are going to be looking at them. And the fact that everybody is trying to make the conversation around Sabrina Carpenter about men shows me far more than anything Sabrina Carpenter's doing right now. You guys won't shut the fuck up about men. You won't stop talking about it. But you're like, oh, she's centering men. She has not brought that up. You have. All of her music videos, she is murdering men. She literally just wrote a song calling men children,
okay,
child. Like,
felt.
Listen, you know me, Ellie. You've known me for years. If I became a music artist, I don't know if I would write about anything other than girls. So I can't judge you, Sabrina Carpenter. I think you should be allowed to go make money for you and for the record label, and do whatever you want. I don't like the album cover though.
She's just having fun. Girls are allowed to have fun.
And with that, all we can say is slay. I was gonna get into something about sort of the marketing versus art of it all. And then I was going to mention Brat and how I felt like Brat was more marketing than it was art. But then I feel like I'm kind of just targeting another woman, and I couldn't really think of another man. Okay, well, are you with me on Brad?
I do not like Brad. I don't like the whole thing. I think the album was not that good for the hype that it got. I mean, yeah, the marketing was great. It was everywhere. You know, Brat Summer, that's obviously a great way to like make people want to be part of something. But the music didn't hold up, I don't think.
It felt so AI generated. And did you see the like Brat marketing manifesto that came out where she laid out
way
in
she
clear?
definitely wrote that after it already happened.
That is not tinfoil. I think that's a very good conspiracy theory.
Thank you.
But as a marketing manifesto, like it does speak to how Brat was like so well placed at the right time in the right way and everything. But
Sure.
it doesn't make the music good.
No, and I think that's a good point too. Like I think people had an appetite for that kind of thing, but I would say I think people have an appetite for a pop star that's going to have a little bit of fun, and so I don't know why people are so mad at Sabrina.
My last question for you to the Brat thing is like, how do you feel about an artist who has a wide audience and everything glorifying the use of a drug like cocaine? Because I feel like Charlie XCX has had a lot of fun with being like, yeah, we're the girls who do coke and everything. And I don't want to be like a weird purity freak, but a part of me is like, I don't know. I don't like cocaine.
I find the whole thing very weird. I find the whole thing very like, wow, Charlie, you are one interesting chica. Like, I find the whole thing very like, oh, you're so naughty. You do drugs. And like cocaine, you know, people do become very addicted. Cocaine kills people. There's fentanyl and coke right now, like all over the place. Like it's dangerous. And I'm so sorry. I don't mean to sound like a Puritan, like who among us hasn't, you know, but it's not something that I think you should be being like, this is the coolest thing in the world. And we're very cool for doing it. I found that very gauche. Sorry to say the worst word ever, but that's how I felt about it.
I don't know. It to me, it's like, I always assert that I was really cool in high school, which is true, but it has the same, like, I was cool in high school energy. I don't know. Ellie, thank you so much for feministing with me. For more of Ellie's rad fem takes, you could find her Ellie Schnitt anywhere, and I'm sure we'll be speaking soon.
I hope so.
Thank you everybody for watching, and come back soon for even more really, really great and insightful things.